Welcome back to File Under Fire, a wrestling review podcast. My name is Brady. I am your host, joined as always by Dom
Hi.
and Aubie.
Hello.
That was very funny, Dom, considering last week you death metal screamed, and this week it's just
I I
hi.
was I was I was considering saying something, but it happened too fast and I got nervous.
This week, we just picked three random matches. We I think somebody asked me what was the theme for this week, and I said it's just random with a hint of CTE. That definitely applies more to me and Aubie's matches than Dom's. I don't think there's really any CTE in Dom's match. Still great though.
hmm
Um, yeah, coming off of coming off the back of big Lucha week, big 5-star week. I think just a good fun three matches that we really just all three enjoy, well, kind of enjoy. I'll have my thoughts for Aubie's match here later. um but
Long.
hey, you can we'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's there's a reason that's the last match we're going to talk about here today. But first match we're going to talk about is Dom's match. It is Hechicero versus Extreme Tiger from Lucha Memes,
It's
11
awesome.
2017. Yeah, Hechicero is fucking great. Um,
Yeah, I would make the argument he's probably one of the best wrestlers 21st century. Like I would already say that. I would say that.
I don't think that's like crazy to say either.
Yeah, I think he's in there. I think that covers more ground than you would think, but I think he's in there. I think
hmm
one of his recent dance partners is in there. I'd put Barbaro Cavanario in that
Oh
conversation.
yeah, that's very real.
Yeah, that's real.
Roosh, the Dom guy,
Roosh.
AJ. He's
hmm
operated mostly in the Jay
That's,
Briscoe, Joe, my guy
Mm,
Necro,
Joe.
Murakami, Steve Carino. But yeah, it's not a super long list. I'd put
Yeah.
Hechicero on that list for sure.
I
hmm
think it's been really cool to see too, like a with Hechicero kind of appearing more on like AEW television. It kind of helped like open more people's eyes to
Yeah, bro, he's so cool.
yeah, and like he
Well,
comes
he's
out,
always been an underappreciated guy. He's been around since like 2002.
dude. He
Yeah, I
he does
noticed
not
he's been
seem
around
he does
for
not seem
super long.
underappreciated here in this match though. The crowd. So I do believe this is a fan cam. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, there's
It's a
some.
good one though.
It's
Steady.
it's steady. Honestly, like I say I believe it's a fan cam because it doesn't look like some fan cams. Plus, it's shot by a person who's sitting up, and usually I feel like fan cams we always get are like on the floor level, so we're always like looking up at the ring. This one is kind of nice in the fact that it's looking down on the ring, so you don't miss really anything at all.
hmm
Especially with somebody like Echicero, you know he's going to do a lot of tight mat work. I'm not as familiar with Extreme Tiger. Dom, I'm sure you are because you probably saw that name and thought he sounded really fucking cool and wanted to see
DNA
him.
legend.
He was TNA guy.
Tigre
He was
Uno.
like Tigre Uno. He's been around for a while. He was triple A. He was triple A. My stupid fucking ass. Whatever. Triple A guy for a while. It seems.
Done some Noah
Um.
stuff recently.
Yeah, Noah stuff.
That's crazy.
Which that match is on YouTube.
Yeah, he's
But
probably
yeah,
most known for his TNA run.
But you are actually right, Brady. You know my train of thought. I was looking and I was like, oh, sounds cool.
Yeah,
Extreme Tiger,
Extreme
and he
Tiger
looks
spelt
cool.
with no
And
E.
the axe, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
cool, and he
Well,
is
you can see it
cool.
both ways actually. He's gone by
Yeah,
both,
he's
but I
got
do.
hella
I like
names.
the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Uh,
Of its time.
it's I also like it. I think it kind of differentiates him a little bit too. And yeah, he's like honestly, he's really good in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are. It's the first kind of half is a lot of different holds and like different Yave stuff, but like it's all really like
Yeah.
really good.
I
Hetchy
was
is such a good
surprised.
base. Yeah. Yeah.
I was surprised how good Extreme Tiger was in that portion.
Right.
That's not something that I necessarily would associate with him. And it's not just that he's like holding his own, like the way the match unfolds, he's going, it's like a 50-50 until it isn't. But for like the early part of the Yaveo stuff,
Yeah,
they're trading and going back and forth, and
it's kind of a,
nice.
one guy gets him in one hold and the other guy gets out. And it's all like different like interesting stuff too. Like at one point Extreme Tiger gets like the full Nelson on
Mhm.
Hechicero.
It almost feels like a more modern version of Blue Panther, of like a Blue Panther and Santito match, if you
Mhm.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be controversial to say Ejiro is the best Yave guy.
Around right now,
Yeah,
100%, bro.
Yeah,
currently I think
other than
so.
maybe Blue Panther.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
maybe like
but yeah,
Shelwa, but I mean Shelwa's still pretty young, so like
yeah, I think Hechisero's got him.
I
And
mean,
Showa can get there, and they had a great match together in this same
mhm.
promotion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Lucha
Hechisero's on a
Memes
different
is
level.
really a crazy promotion. Like when you think about it, like with this one is run out of is it Arena Nalcapan?
Yes, that's he's got the IWRG ring,
Yeah,
one of the great venues in the world.
which is so funny too that it's like, they're just renting it from IWRG basically and
Fuck it,
just
yeah.
Well, hell, they've run Arena Mexico,
hell yeah.
so they've done that in the past. I love the current venue, but I do think it's cool when they run those other buildings.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't. Did you guys look at the card for this?
Um
When I sent it to John, I only saw that the last great, in his words, Mr. Niebla match happened.
Yeah. Well, he would
yeah.
know. He
Mhm.
loves
S
Mr. Niebla.
I
This
did
is the
s-
second match card,
yeah. I did
which is
see
pretty
like
crazy. It like shows you how
Artemis and
underappreciated.
Bandito are on this show in the
Yeah.
first match. In a six-man tag. Um, like you said, Mr. Niebla is here. The Volador Jr. versus Jack Evans match is so funny to me.
Sounds
Um,
awesome.
yeah, it does sound. And then like it ends with a cage match with La Silueta and Keira. Very very funny Lucha Memes card. But yeah, this match, like you said, second match on the card, and I mean they're working pretty crazy for what is
Yeah,
it?
they're cooking, but you can kind of feel it with the crowd. It's not like a. I mean, they're with it and they're
Mm-hmm.
liking it, but it's a very loose,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
that's one thing
fun.
I always love about lucha. Is even if it's like not like a barn burner, they'll still bump it up with that crowd noise. They'll still love it.
Yeah. And like the people chanting Hechicero is so like it's so cool to me. Like it really makes him feel like it makes it feel where it's like this dude is like kind of a big star. Like even I mean this is 2017, right? Like I'm talking about him being getting bigger now, 8 years later. But he like hearing the crowd be so behind Hechicero here, and like you said, he'd been doing it for a while, so um, that's a lot of fun. What's some really like? There's a lot of really cool stuff in the.
LL until like 2014, and then there still wasn't much to that. I specifically, it's kind of hard to picture if you're just getting into CMLL, where they do feature a lot of young guys, but for a long time it was a lot of the old guys on top, and it was really hard for people to break through. And Hechicero is one of those people that was like
Kind
people
of
were
just stuck.
begging for them to do more with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, people love
Which I mean, it
Hechi.
shows. It's the second match on a Lucha Mime show, right? He's worked Lucha Mimes a few times in the last couple years, and he's not been in the second match.
no, he's treated like like royalty almost coming back down and doing the indie stuff. It's almost kind of attributed to like some of the guys who've been indie guys in like the U.S., like a Roderick Strong or somebody like that going back, now going all the way through WWE and AEW and then he goes and does like a random indie show. Like he gets booked like hey, look, this dude is coming back here to really turn it up with his roots. Um, at one point, like Hechicero, like tries to like flips Extreme Tiger up and over. Tiger like trips him, runs the ropes, and then like ducks a couple lines, and then goes up into the head scissors, and then like gets into that like octopus hold, which
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's
that
very
was
cool.
yeah, that was really cool. And then like right after that, like Hechicero gets out and then ties like Extreme Tiger up.
Yeah,
Super
like
like
it's just brutal. Like a single legs bow and arrow, fucking
mm-hmm.
crazy. It looks
Yeah.
very brutal and mean and
And
nasty.
then he hits that backbreaker onto him.
Yeah.
Like dude, that is crazy. Uh Extreme Tiger like hits the spinning Pele kick is what I called it. I don't know what else to call that.
Oh yeah,
Like
that shit was cool. I mean, he got
yeah.
his hands up, but
Really nice kicks and stuff.
Mhm.
yeah, the
Like
offense between both of them is fun, and I love that in a match.
Yeah, like Hechicero, for as much as he wants to do the Yaveo stuff and like tie him up, like when Hechicero starts hitting the big moves, I think is when he really starts to shine, like when this match really starts to shine. Um, really once Hechicero once he drops the straps, which is
Yeah, that
all
shit's
like
beautiful. It's
always
so
so
cool.
cool too because he has the like cross strap, so he's got to
He's
pull
such
him
a big
all the way
motherfucker
over.
too. Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
he's
a
he
so
is.
gigantic.
Jerry Lawler move. Sorry, you may have to bleep that out.
Hey, he's not the only canceled person we're going to talk about on this episode, so it's all right. Um, yeah, he pulled like has him cross, pulls him over, and like from that point, man, like this match kind of goes crazy. Um, he like Hechicero gets him up on his shoulder, and then he like kind of parades him around, and I wrote suplexes him because I don't
Oh,
know.
when he was when he countered like Extreme Tigers like what armbar?
Yeah, like Extreme
So
Tiger has him like an
that is
armbar.
actually like that was what was his name? Lasombra? That was his finisher, right? He called it the schoolboy suplex.
It,
Yep.
I
this would
think yeah,
yeah, this
yes.
would be an obby. Yeah.
It's basically the Bob Backlund spot that he does where he muscles him up and he does it again, but it would be I always wish Bob Backlund ended it in a suplex and here they did it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks really good. But
Mhm. It looks fantastic.
you saying Lasombra like that makes sense.
Mhm.
Just based off of like the time period we're in here.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So I didn't know what it was, but then like right after that is when they get out of the ring, or well, Extreme Tiger gets out of the ring. Hechicero kind of lines up like he's gonna go for a dive, but Extreme Tiger moves and he just kind of slides into the rope, and then he like throws him onto the guardrail, and then he climb like he tries to position himself and he climbs over the guardrail to then try and get back up on the guardrail.
Oh yeah, he trips like a motherfucker.
Yeah, well, like and he like puts his hand on like the dude's head for
Yeah,
like
awesome.
balance. Who I think he had like a Psycho Clown mask on his head or something like that.
I didn't even
Um,
notice that. That's tough.
yeah, well, it was like just kind of sat on top of his head. He wasn't wearing it. It was like flat, and he just kind of had it resting there, which was kind of funny. And yeah, he like tries to do that, and he like Tiger like knocks his legs out from under him, and then he
Uh-huh.
goes up to the top rope and hits that like leg
Guillotine leg
drop.
drop. Fucking
Very
Yeah.
well played.
awesome.
It I think it's helped by the angle because you can
Mhm.
Yeah.
see like really how huge it is.
Yeah, you get
He
to
gets
see him go all
major
the
air.
way in. Yeah.
And then the next piece of offense after that is a Extreme Tiger leg drop to the nuts from the top.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah.
I called
Yeah.
it another ass drop. I
I
think
Yeah,
there's
I
like
basically.
3 weeks in a row we've had a match with a
ass
big
drop.
ass drop in it.
I
Yeah.
wrote seated senton, but yeah, I mean, regardless of what you want to call it, it is
Mine says
two
flying ass drop.
Hechisero's nuts. That is 100% certain. Um, and then
I think we skipped. I not to interrupt you. I think
no,
we
no, no.
might have we skipped the part that I wanted to mention, but there's a part of Extreme Tiger offense where, like Avi was saying, cool kicks. He kicks him in the back of the head.
Yeah,
He
Right in
does
the
the
brainstem.
yeah, he does a like a leg slap, but like it's still fucking fully connected. You can see his head like buck
yeah,
forward, and he's like, oh shit.
yeah. He knocks him pretty solid. I definitely did skip over that reading through the notes here, but yeah, I know the spot you're talking about, and dude, it is pretty nasty.
It is a cool ass spot. This one I just love. This is a cool ass match.
Extreme Tiger goes up for like the Frankensteiner basically, and then basically he just gets buckle bombed. Dude,
Oh yeah, it's a nice fucking buckle bomb.
he
Gnarly
launches
buckle bomb.
him
Yeah.
into that corner. That shit was in fucking sane. Um, yeah, and like he like I think he's gonna go for one in the other corner, but then like Tiger like floats over and hits the like the
Wow,
sun.
code red shit.
Yeah, like is it a code red or was it a sunset flip? I don't even remember. Um,
Yeah, you know what?
same difference,
I
you
just
know.
I just said code red because I think he got the legs with it.
You're um all of this like is just getting 2 counts crazy. Like that's kind of the crazy thing about it, right? Is like as I'm watching it, I didn't realize like this is the build to the finish. It all just like you're all just kind of watching it and going back and forth, and
It's
I'm
a
just
Yeah.
great
like,
I
flow.
mean, it's a really very like not to use the same word over and over, but like classically structured.
mm-hmm,
They start with the Yave stuff, and then Hechicero gets the upper hand because he's stronger, and
Hmm.
then
by a
Extreme
lot.
Tiger gets his little comeback with his like very exciting offense, and then
Mm-hmm.
then they're trading bombs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and like once they get into the bombs, it's like so good, and like the finish too comes almost out of nowhere,
the
where
finish is
like
fan fucking tastic.
he he like Hechisero's gonna like basically I think he's gonna whip him into the turnbuckle, but like Tiger kind of stops himself.
He gets
Revert.
him in like a power slam position, and Extreme Tiger counters it, pushes him off into the turnbuckle. That's how it sets
Yeah,
that up.
and he comes
Gets on the
off,
top rope.
and Tiger goes on the top rope, and like I guess what was he gonna hit like a
A
reverse like
cut,
a cross
like a cutter
body.
maybe. It looked like he was
Yeah,
gonna hit a
this
cutter. I
I
guess.
think this is like a flying nothing sort of,
Yeah, oh
but
yeah. I was gonna say the
It's a
coolest flying nothing I've seen
it's
because
a
he does
flying
catch
catches him
him
in
nothing.
like a he
a
catches him in like a
suplex.
muscle buster position
He catches him
almost.
in a suplex, and
Yeah,
then he transitions it to a muscle buster into his finisher. Which what is his finisher called? The conjure. It's like the conjurina or something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I'm
like
so bad with move
the
names,
elude
but
the
it's sick.
finishers. Mhm. It's
yeah. It's
it's a
it's a
sick as
Hechicero, you
fucking
know what it
back,
is.
yeah.
the
It's like a
coolest
spinning
fucking
like he
backbreaker.
spins him around and then hits the backbreaker.
All with a
And
hammer lock, so your arms behind your goddamn back.
yeah, the like that being the finishing stretch, I think is so sick too. Um, it just like the way the finish almost kind of sneaks up on you, but it doesn't in the grand sense because, like you said, Ob, it is that kind of classic structure of growing into throwing bombs. But once you get to the bombs, like it's kind of crazy, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that happens, and so the finish of hitting like the quote unquote finisher does kind of sneak up on you, but not in a way that is like bad or unwarranted. Um, overall,
At this point, they've been going hot and heavy for a few minutes.
yeah, especially after like that stuff on the outside, like we talked about with the
Yeah,
the leg drop
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff, like and the uh the nut shot.
Fucking
That
awesome.
it's so funny too. That, like you said, this is like we're going on 3 weeks in a row to have the ass drop on onto somebody. I wonder how long we can keep that streak going.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't even
try to
I don't even
find
know.
one.
Hmm.
Did you guys notice that this match only had 425 views?
I did
Yes,
not.
I remember.
Crazy. I had just finished writing a review of a yard match that I don't think I can say the name that it's posted under. We'll call it Two Hispanic Gentlemen Brawling.
Oh, yes.
That one had more views than this, and it's like a 1999 like
Yeah,
backyard wrestling
I
match.
do not remember if I got this a while ago when from Lost when I was asking for like Extreme Tiger recommendations because I don't know, I find someone cool and then I'm like, hey guys, do you have match recommendations? He sent me this and it was very cool. And I
I
also
know.
took note.
I think that's awesome. This is like
Yeah,
a match that almost nobody has seen, so
yeah,
hopefully
it's
people
literally like a
watch.
little hidden gem, straight up hidden gem.
Kind of crazy too when you like think about it, cause like I mean, like you're saying, right? It's got 430 views. Comments are turned off. It's from like it was posted 7 years ago, so it was probably posted like yeah, it was posted 4 days after the event. Um,
Mhm.
and then like, did you guys happen to go to this guy's channel at
I
all?
did not.
Because I'm looking at it right now, and like, is some of this stuff is just him clipping different like different stuff directly from other YouTube videos, it looks like.
Oh, that's beast.
The only reason I say that is because in the like thumbnail you can see the time bar for YouTube, which
Hmm.
is pretty crazy. Yeah, that is
That's beast.
beast as hell. Oh dude, he uploaded an IWRG match for of Los Mexa Boys. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a what a fun way to use the YouTube, man. I love people who do stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's 430 views. This is where the spreadsheet really comes in handy for you dedicated File Under Fire listeners, because
Yep.
I've already updated it at before we even recorded. So the matches are in there with the YouTube links and or VK links if they're not available on YouTube. Um, which our next match is one of those, unfortunately, or fortunately. Um, but yeah, this one would probably be hard. Like, Aubrey, you were saying that before we started recording that like if you tried to find this match on YouTube, like it'd be a bit of a
Well, you're
challenge.
not finding much nude on YouTube
No,
anyway.
no,
I
I
mean,
was
they
talking
do.
about the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hit the Sandwich.
I tried to just like search for it in YouTube.
Just look it
Yeah,
up
but look up
Um,
Extreme Tiger.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, no
it
luck.
didn't come up. I had to go straight
straight to
to
the.
the link Dom sent.
That's kind of
So
funny actually.
Oh, I found a Hector Godfrey
Yeah,
upload, but I don't know if that's
go
because of my fucking my what is it? I'm forgetting words. I'm so high. My
algorithm.
algorithm. Yeah, my algorithm is so lucha based. It's just giving it to me.
Hector Godfrey TV is so sick.
hey, that's you know what? It's probably on like. Do you think this is on like
Oh,
IWTV?
the link I think I gave you guys is
Is the
from
Hector
Hector
Godfrey?
Godfrey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So he has multiple uploads of the same thing. One from 4 years ago and 7 years ago, and the one from 4 years ago only has 262 views. Also, so
damn, that's crazy.
it's
How many
crazy.
of those
yeah,
views do you think are that's like the same?
I don't know. That's something I've noticed a lot. Is this channels will upload the same matches a lot when it comes to lucha.
Lucha
Sometimes,
YouTube is so chaotic.
yeah, it's fucking confusing sometimes.
I know there's great stuff I missed. That's why I'm glad to have Jay and Floke around to
Yeah.
find that stuff because I feel like
Yeah,
I open up YouTube and go to my subscriptions for Lucha and like there's so much that's not matches that it's like
yeah.
stuff can get lost in there.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes shit's a little overstimulating.
that's for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm YouTube deficient anyway, so
It's one of those
It's
social
very
medias that
rare. Yeah, it's very rare to meet someone besides my. No, I'm not gonna talk about it. Make you feel old. Continue.
Hey, you know what? I'm 24, gonna be 25, and even the YouTube algorithm is confusing to me sometimes, so I get it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm
Um,
just like I'm like a OCD, and I also don't. I'm not really OCD, but like I have mild OCD tendencies, and like you guys know, I like to have like the context for everything. I like to have
yeah,
the dates
Mm-hmm.
right. I like,
Yeah.
and I don't really like. I very rarely do I just go. I want to watch a match, but I don't know what match.
oh yeah.
So I don't like. That's another reason I don't use YouTube a lot
You
because I'm
don't
not just
watch
like.
wrestling like how I watch wrestling or how Dom watches
No, I'm like
wrestling.
I'm very intentional in
Yeah,
what I'm watching. And so YouTube is not like the best. I mean, it is if you're trying to find something and you know what it is, but like
Mm-hmm.
just stumbling upon stuff on YouTube, I never do that. Hardly ever.
yeah.
Gotcha.
That's like the primary way I watch wrestling nowadays. Is like I'll just look up the wrestler matches or whatever, or like I go to the butt farter and just be like, all right, what's new?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Pretty much.
The fuck,
yeah,
That shit sounds like it stinks.
dumbass.
HH poop brother.
Poop brother.
Move,
Major toxic.
yeah, moving to something that is maybe major toxic based off of some of the participants. My pick of the week, it is the Steiner brothers versus the Hellraisers from New Japan Pro Wrestling 1493. Um,
Real fucking wrestling.
the
This is
Hellraisers,
fantastic.
the Hellraisers, if you don't know who it is Road Warrior Hawk and Kinsuke Sasaki.
This
Um,
Power Warrior, right?
or yeah, sorry, Power Warrior, my fault. Um, I found this match through one of the DVD VR, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Death Valley Driver.
DVDVR.
Yeah,
Play driver.
yeah. The one of the yearbook tapes. This is tape one. I know that much because it's the beginning of 1993. Like I
Uh-huh.
remember like it's like this match from this show, and then Liger Ultimo Dragon is pretty good, and then like there's a Great Muta match on it that is also fun. I think that one might be against Chono. Um,
The
but
'93 yearbooks are unbelievable. This may be the best year for wrestling ever.
yeah,
Like in
yeah.
ring, '93 was crazy year.
I mean, really, just all time. Oh, dude, you want to hear a crazy match that's on this show that's rated super low? Dustin
Right.
Rhodes and Scott Norton versus Masa Saito and Shinya Hashimoto.
Oh, get the fuck out
I
of here. That's probably awesome.
It's fine. I've watched
Oh
that
man.
match, yeah,
Oh,
Oh
because
man.
I thought it sounded awesome too. It's fine.
Oh well. Sting versus Hiroshi. All right, no, never mind. I'm not gonna get in a cage
Yeah.
match of the
Well, this
podcast.
is this is like a dome,
Yeah,
New Year's dome
this is
show.
the big New Year's Dome show.
So
So I
they weren't
mean,
given a whole lot of time to Dustin and
yeah, they have.
oh, that's fair. Mm-hmm.
Here, how much time do they have
They're having
actually get
Sting work
here?
rest holds.
They got 13:57. That's more than I would think they
yeah, you
would
can
give them.
definitely have a good match in that time.
I
I just
mean,
remember it being fine. I don't think that's one that the inmates are wrong on.
this match specifically is 14 minutes and 38 seconds. Um, it's a
Of Heat.
beast 14 minutes. Um,
Yeah, it's all action.
all action. Yeah, and it really is a tag match the way a tag match should be, I think. Like you get, other than kind of the like heat segment that they have on Kensuke, like it is kind of just a constant guy, like fresh guy on fresh guy wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or just running into each other at full speed, or
yeah.
throwing each other to the floor. God, the press slam to the floor. There's so much nutty shit in this match.
So one question, and I already like teed it up to you in the group chat, but I do want your like actual answer, which is why is there no animal? Like, so
So
I looked on Cage Match and I saw he doesn't wrestle from like 93 to like 95 like at all.
yeah,
So like
so
what happened?
the Road Warriors. or the Legion of Doom at that point were in the WWF
Hmm.
in 90. I know 91 because I just was just looking at the Mania
They're in '92 as
7
well.
card. Yeah, and they're there. Yeah, they are there in 92, but they're there for a couple years. But they they bring in Paul Ellering to manage them, which is great. But
Right.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. They also give them a like ventriloquist dummy named Rocco.
What the
That I have
fuck?
not
Have you
seen.
not seen that? It's
That's
like
like peak new
extreme wrestle
generation.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
They give them like a ventriloquist dummy named Rocco or some like looks like Howdy. I know you guys don't know who Howdy Doody is, but
I know who
it's
Howdy Doody
exactly it's a
is.
freckled fucking ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, it looks
And
like the killer doll from Magic with the fucking that one
and
movie.
Hawk fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like while they were on tour in London, he just said "fuck this" and like went AWOL and like missed the flight back to the States and quit
And just quit.
the WWF. And Animal stayed to work out the contract, and they put him in
Oh,
a team with Crush. Um,
okay. So that makes a bit more
and
sense.
so Hawk goes to New Japan and starts teaming with Kinsuke. Kinsuke was already around, and he was like a lower mid carder. This is actually what makes him a star, is being Power Warrior
Yeah,
uh,
right. I understand.
with
Understandably,
Hawk.
yeah.
Um,
They do
And
like.
then, but Animal in the interim, like while he's working out the string in WWF, presumably to come reunite with Hawk at some point, he hurts his back like very seriously, and that's why he misses like 2 years.
Oh,
He doesn't wrestle again for 2 years because he has like a major
yeah. Cause like
back injury.
I
But you know
went.
something, Steiners at this point were in the WWF too, which is something people probably don't think about when you're talking about a Steiners New Japan match. So
Right.
there's like a little weird overlap here where Hawk has just left uh, the WWF and the Steiners have just gotten there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like that makes more sense too. Cause like I was looking at Animal's cage match. Um, and like one of the last matches he works before his hiatus is he wrestles Papa Shango on a house show in the Cow Palace, and like, but then like you were saying, like he was teaming with Crush a lot, and so I was like, why is why is because first like when I first started thinking about it, my like reasoning for why Animal wouldn't be there was just, well, maybe he couldn't get into the country and Hawk could. And so he was just like, oh, like Hawk would just be like, it's whatever, I'll just.
Neither one of them are probably stand-up citizens, but it's probably more likely that the reverse would be true. that Hawk couldn't
The
get in.
Hawk wouldn't get
Mhm.
in, yeah. One thing, I mean, we'll get to the match review in a second, but the way that the file ends is with like a little interview segment, and Hawk says that Kinsuke is, quote, the best partner I've ever had,
Oh wow.
which
Yeah,
is
there was actually some because he didn't tell Animal that he was gonna go do this, and they had like a little
a little heat.
falling out for a little while there. Yeah, so I don't know if that's before or after. It might be a reaction to that, or it might be part of the cause. But I mean, that's just he's just putting them over. I mean,
I mean, yeah, for sure. And I mean, like he is super cool in here. I like it made me want to go watch more Road Warriors stuff in general, or even Hellraiser stuff. Just because of how kind of cool Hawk is here, and
it's
like
fucking awesome.
obviously Kensuke is Kensuke Sasaki. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
everybody knows that he's cool. But yeah, I mean, they're like the Hellraisers are an active team as they're listed on Cage Match from '92 to '96. So there's a good little bit where they're working together
Yeah, and
as
not all that. Like, it's one of those things where Kensuke Sasaki like would occasionally go back to the Power Warrior thing and team with Hawk, but it wasn't like he
yeah,
was the Power Warrior for 3 years or whatever.
yeah, it's kind of like a Muto versus Muta situation where he's not always.
This is what like elevates him.
Yeah, and like he comes out kind of looking crazy too with he has like the Road Warriors like shoulder pads, but his are like samurai inspired is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like it's pretty crazy in the grand scheme because Hawk is just wearing shoulder pads, like regular shoulder pads, and then Kensuke's got the like crazy like samurai chest plate and shoulder pieces, and you're like that it's just strapped on shoulder pads. But yeah, it's a pretty crazy look. Um, and then like they start the match, they get handshakes in, which you would not think that here in 10 minutes that they were buddies, and they're gonna be
But then
buddies
they do it
again
again after. To me,
after.
it's like the Scott Steiner and Goldberg matches. It's like these guys respect each other. They know what the deal is,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they're gonna beat the fucking piss out of each other
Yeah, because
They
it's
for
for.
the
do.
I mean, this
duration.
is
But that almost probably makes them respect each other more. These are like 4 dick measuring contest style wrestlers for sure.
this is
Mm-hmm.
yeah this is for the tag titles. The Hellraisers are the champs, and the Steiners are the challengers.
The
Which
Steiners were probably the only people that could bully
the
Kensuke. I don't mean to cut you off, but like they
no, I
bully him
think
in this.
I think you're right because it's like obviously like you were saying, Aubie, where this is the last match that the Steiners wrestle in New Japan before going to WWF full time, and then coincidentally
Yeah,
going
very clearly has to be some kind of like prior
yeah prior.
booking, and they said you got to let us pick
Hey,
our booking because they I don't know. I'm not going to speak for them and say they made a lot of money in New Japan, but they probably made a lot of money in New Japan, right? They won
I,
the tag titles
I
in
mean
their
yeah,
first ever New Japan appearance. They they won that crazy #1 contender match against Iizuka and Fujinami on the WCW pay per view in
Mm-hmm.
'92. They beat Bam Bam and Vader for the titles in '92. Um,
That was an all-star
and
team
yeah,
back then.
and I mean
yeah.
they at this point like they've only worked maybe like 2 WWF dates. It
Yeah,
looks like they just
and
did
house
like a
shows probably.
no, it's a episode of Superstars and then an episode of Wrestling Challenge.
Okay, so
Um,
squashes.
yeah, and exactly, they're both squashes. And from like then in '93, like you said, they actually work 2 tag matches, funnily enough, in '93 in New Japan. This match, and then at the end of '93, they wrestle the Jurassic Powers, which that match probably fucking rocks.
Who the fuck is the Jurassic
Pretty good.
Powers?
Norton and Hercules.
All right, can you send that to me after this pod? That should be
It,
cool. I
yeah,
like dinosaurs.
they're this actually. So Brady picking this match sent me on a
Sparked.
Steiner Brothers
Yeah.
Yes,
cage
I
match
remember that.
rabbit hole, and I was like, all right, there's a Steiner Brothers playlist
Being
incoming.
made. Yeah.
It's gonna take a minute because I've got a lot of
There's a lot of
I'm
material.
juggling a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's coming. Because just looking at the run between their first New Japan appearance and this match, it's
There's
pretty crazy.
there's crazy. Yeah, there's a
They
lot of
win
crazy
them from
stuff.
Hase and Saki. They drop them to Hase and Muto, but with Scott Norton subbing for Scott Steiner because he's hurt. Then they have that crazy match on Wrestle War for the #1 contender. Then they win them from Bam Bam and Vader. Then they go back to WCW and wrestle a program against Miracle Violence Connection. Then they defend them in the summer. Then they go back to WCW in September and work a little mini program with Dick Slater and Greg Valentine, and a little
Uh-huh.
mini program with Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson, which Dangerous Alliance again. It's a theme.
Yeah.
Uh, they lose them to Norton and someone who is in the public consciousness night right now, Tony Halma, Ludwig Borga
Oh no.
from the Dark Side of the Ring that's coming on.
That guy was comically evil, huh?
Yeah.
What a huge piece of shit. Yeah.
Terrible person actually.
And then they go to WWF. So that's like a crazy run, man. They're wrestling all these big New Japan teams, and then it's not in All Japan, but they're wrestling,
All Japan
Gordy and
guys.
Dr. Death in WCW,
Yeah.
and then going back to New Japan, and they're coming back to WCW and wrestling all those crazy teams. So
Yeah, the Steiners are kind of like that. Like you said, that's a crazy run. As a tag team, they're a ton of fun too. Scott, like I think Scott more than Rick here is kind of like still entrenched in that amateur wrestling like kind of thought process, and he really shows that to begin the match
Yeah,
with
shooting for double legs and
yeah
shit,
he
single
like
legs,
he
ankle picks.
shoots the
oh, and that
single
stuff is
leg, shoots
sick
a
too.
double
Yeah,
leg.
lovely, awesome.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's so
and then
good.
it's about 12 seconds of that before they start
Yeah, before they
fucking
start throwing
throwing
bombs.
bombs and getting rough. Yeah, and that's when you get that Hawk press slam Scott out of the ring to the floor.
Yeah, dude, what a crazy like crazy way. Like that's like what, 2 minutes into the match or something
Yeah,
like that. Hawk is humongous. Like, don't get me wrong, the Steiners are like jacked to their gills. At one point, we'll get to it. it. Rick Steiner looks probably the craziest I've ever seen a wrestler in my life from the
all
He
these
is
craziest
guys
so
angle.
look
he's
like
so he's so much
best.
ass.
Um, but yeah, like this, I remember watching this match when it happened, or when I shouldn't say when it happened. I wasn't alive in '93. When I like first got the tape that you sent, Abby, and I remember watching it and going, you know what? Maybe wrestling does need some like giant roided up crazy guys.
100%.
Like maybe there is a place for them because matches like this, I think, really show off what good power wrestlers can do. Um, and like I don't know if you guys looked, but like if you look at the when you look at Hawk's cage match, you know how it has like their wrestling style? It just says powerhouse on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need more guys to have that description of powerhouse.
yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome.
He
You're
is
completely right.
so cool in this match, and like the way they eventually, I mean, we'll get to it, but I don't want to skip too far ahead. But the way he becomes the hot tag guy too, I think is really cool. Um, yeah, like you said, he military presses Scott out of the ring, and Rick goes over, checks on Scott, and then he gets back in, and Scott like cuts him off, and what does he hit? Is it a tiger bomb or a liger bomb?
Know what to call that? It's like a release tiger bomb,
Yeah, he
tiger driver. He's like a side release tiger driver, and then he hits
Because he
that.
was too goddamn big.
Yeah,
dude, it's crazy. Like, and that's just one of the many
and I
like.
don't like. I think a lot of times when you watch this era of the Steiner brothers, maybe always, I'm not sure that Scott even knew like what he was gonna do when he
I was
when
gonna
he
say
picks him up for that.
that might be an always thing, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he just never knows what he's doing. Um, yeah, and he picks him up, puts
Complimentary.
he hits Hawk with the pile driver, and then Hawk just like no sells it, stands up, and you hear Rick like on the side of the ring being like, turn around,
He's right.
look,
I love that.
Oh, yeah, because then
dude,
Scott takes another insanely big bump. He takes two huge bumps like right off the bat, and both of them are
yeah,
from the ring to the floor because he
from the
gets
yeah.
clothesline to the floor and like eats total shit.
And this is the point where I do want to derail to talk about a cage match rating. Because this fucking dude, there's a fucking dude who goes, oh yeah, when Kinsuke's in the ring, it's good, but when Hawk's in the ring, it's awful because Hawk no
Yeah, just
sells
lying.
everything. Yeah, that is the damn point. That is what makes Hawk the coolest here. Because you're right, he does no sell stuff. And you know
Well,
what?
there's a lot of stupid criticisms of mine too that we can talk about when we get to it, man. You're just gonna encounter that when you're on cage match. But also the Hawk no selling a pile driver is like
Is a
he does
Hawk
that
spot.
all the time. Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
doing that since like 1986.
And like the pop he gets from standing right back up after the pile driver
It's
is
always
the
cool.
exact reason why he stands right back up after the pile driver. Because
Yeah.
it's way cooler than him just laying there and then them working him over. You know? Yeah, so
Yes.
Scott gets in, and then he tags in Kensuke, and then like as soon as Scott realizes that he's not like paired up with Hawk, he like tags Rick in. Rick throws some of the craziest suplexes ever. Like his belly to bellies, he's
They're so
launching
good,
you.
man.
He
When I was
launches
like,
them, yeah.
yeah, when I was first getting into, I guess not, I liked it when I was like 4 or whatever, like Hulk Hogan, but like as a someone who can remember the shit, like
Hmm.
that era of WCW I was getting into, I really thought that like the belly to belly suplex was like the most
Most,
fucking devastating thing you could do because of the way the Steiners did them,
I
the
mean,
overhead throw, and at one point the just like the regular belly to belly was Scott Steiner's like his I guess tertiary finisher for a while. Like he beat a lot of people with that. And
Yeah,
Rick
he
always
does the
did that big
spinning shit.
overhead. Yeah.
Yeah, he
yeah,
launches like Kensuke like only he can do that. Like his big fucking body ass. Huh!
Did you guys see
that's
that GIF I posted a long time ago? I don't know, a long time ago, a couple months ago, of him like German suplexing Vader and just like tossing him like a rag doll.
I
maybe
off the
I
top of
You
my
know,
head, I
we
don't remember.
we have
yeah,
talked about how caked up Rick Steiner
Dude, he
was.
has so much
Because
dude,
assness.
he's strong as fuck, dude. That comes from that amateur wrestling. Like, if you got an ass
yeah,
like that, you are strong,
100%.
especially
dude.
like lifting people. So he's just tossing these huge guys around like it's nothing.
To I do want to I don't want to stray too far from the belly to belly because I do want to make a point about that. But yeah, when him and Hawk go for the test of strength, you get maybe Albie, I know at one point you posted a picture of it. But like the way I have never seen a wrestler's butt jiggle in that way.
We need to make a gift for that, honestly.
Dude. Like it's kind of crazy. Like and I don't like I like I said, I do want to talk about the belly to belly a little bit just because I think it's a good point to make where like some wrestlers and I'm not like saying it's necessarily bad either, but like I, for example somebody like Bailey who does the belly to belly or the Bailey to belly, like
Ass.
when she does it, it is less of like a it's she picks you up to chest to chest and kind of plants you down, almost more power slam esque than like a straight suplex. But yeah, the way Rick does it here, he's grabbing you chest to chest and then he is launching you as far as your human body can fly.
It's
Like
crazy how he launches these motherfuckers.
it is insane. Yeah, like I said, that cake is next level. Um,
Dude, when they get into the test of strength and he's poking that thing out,
yeah.
There's
goodness
comical amounts of
gracious.
butt, bruh.
But also
Where's the Guerrero style?
Hmm.
this is the good time, I guess, to point out that this is the numbers singlets for the Steiners, which I
The awesome
always
one. That when Brian Breaker wore it and everybody thought it was a Steiner math
Steiner math
thing.
thing.
Yeah, it's like, no, you dumb fuck. Go
I mean,
watch
it is almost like
the
it does
classics.
make me think Steiner math. Even even watching this and knowing that like
Yeah.
Steiner
Well, they
math
always
doesn't
had
happen
great
for
gear,
another. Yeah.
and they switched it up a lot. But he wore this one plenty.
Oh yeah. There's even like times where like they wouldn't even match their singlets, and like I've seen like Rick wearing this one, and then like Scott wearing like one of his other singlets, which I
Yeah.
always think is
Rick's
kind of
probably had
funny.
some skid marks in him or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's real. I mean,
Seems
hey,
like a guy who doesn't wipe his ass.
I mean when it's that big, sometimes you miss some things.
But we could do like we could legitimately just go through this match like move by move, because there's so much crazy shit. But that I
Yeah.
think that would be doing it a disservice because this is something you just need to watch. But I do want to mention that not long after that belly to belly is when we get the Hawk gets put in the crab and
Oh
starts
yeah.
doing push-ups in the
He starts
crab.
doing the push-ups. Dude,
Yeah,
what a crazy ass weight. And like it causes Scott to fall flat on his fucking
yeah,
face, which is that is insane. Like
too much power.
I love the face that Hawk makes too when he's doing the push-ups. He's just like, yeah, I'm raw. Like, and the crowd's going crazy for it. Dude, more people should do it. Like, somebody needs to bring
Yeah.
that back.
Well, you got to
I
look like Hawk. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, that's true. He
Yeah.
is.
And Hawk also has crazy charisma. I think it's Elliot who said it a bunch, but like Hawk could have been a single star.
Hmm.
Very, very easy.
But I think like what he does as a tag wrestler is
Oh yeah,
like
Road
his
Warriors are one of the coolest teams ever, and the
yeah.
Hellraisers kick ass too.
So are the Hellraiser, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, like you said, like we can go through this like move for move. Um, I think Rick hits a pump handle slam at one point.
Oh my god, that was so crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's some crazy power slams too. It's like they're competing to see who can get like
who
the
can?
craziest rotation.
Yeah,
Power Warriors
Yeah.
hits one at one point that's like so fucking
It's
funny.
like it's almost like competitive, like animals competing. Like, who
Yeah.
fucking no, I can
Yeah.
fucking rotate faster. Fuck you.
Yeah.
dude, I
There's
love.
also that it's I don't even know what to call it. Rick after a big Kensuke power slam, like he grabs him like a belly to belly, but lower.
Uh-huh.
But then he
Yeah,
still
he
throws him like way the fuck over his head. It's
yeah,
like
he
a
does.
standing back body drop or something, but he grabs him like around the ass.
Around
It's
yeah.
crazy.
I know what you I think I wrote it down as a belly to belly because I didn't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But
But he's
you
like he's got a lower center of gravity. It's like a chest to belly. It's like a belly to cock.
Yep, that's awesome. Keep it in.
belly to cock suplex. Um, I do love so like Scott and Rick are kind of like jaw jacking with Hawk like on
So
the
good.
apron. Yes, like at one point Rick does like the tongue out, like kind of mocking like the Road Warriors in general, I guess, but specifically Hawk in this case. And then like they get him up, and I wrote it down as they hit an avalanche bulldog.
Yeah, they used to do that a lot. That's the move that they like almost paralyzed Buff Bagwell on.
I
I can
remember
see
that.
Because
why.
he comes off the top and like his head hit like the
Yeah.
top of Steiner's uh thigh.
Well, yeah. Like
And
if
so it
you,
like fucked his neck up. Yeah, they used to do that a lot. They had
it,
a lot of dangerous ass moves, man.
I do love too that like right after that, then they hit like the Doomsday device, but Scott comes off like the middle, like he gets in
Oh yeah, that was
the
awesome. Second
middle
rope
of the
Doomsday.
ring. Yeah, he doesn't go to like the corner. He gets in the middle of the ring and goes to the middle rope, which I thought was really cool.
And this at this point, like everything they're throwing looks like live rounds. Like it looks like some of the
Yeah.
punches in my match. Like they're they're just throwing those bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes crazy, dude. And when Hawk gets the hot tag, oh my god,
Oh, that's awesome. He cleans house.
the double lariat from Hawk on both the Steiners. Oh my god, dude, he is like the crowd is fired up, and this is a pretty like I mean this is a pretty tame Tokyo Dome crowd in the grand scheme, but they are like hot for that. The hot tag does it's all of it. Then like they kind of brawl around here, and then Scott hits like so like he sends Kensuke into the ropes and then hits the Frankensteiner on him, which is
He
like
always eats shit on his own Frankensteiner, bro.
dude, that
Well, he stands up and catches it.
dude that one is so crazy because he almost doesn't get around. Like you start to understand why he did it off the top rope instead. You know what I mean? Because like it's easier to get that full rotation.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the finish of this match being like them brawling on the outside, Kensuke puts Scott up on his shoulders, Hawk hits the Doomsday device, and Scott like eats shit on the guardrail,
Oh,
So
he
bad.
does eat super shit, like face to guardrail almost.
and then
Yeah, he eats the guardrails. What he fucking eats on
they
the
get a
mat.
Hmm.
double count out, which it does kind of feel weird as a double count out, just because of like how much mayhem is going on. How does the ref even know who the legal guys are? You know, up to that point. But even still, like it's crazy. I love I do love the idea of double count
That
out.
had to be the finish. That had to be the finish.
Yeah,
With
because I
them
mean,
going to WWF, they're not going to send them over there and let them do the job, but they're also not going to win the belts,
right, because they're
Mhm.
not
knowing they're
gonna
not going to be
stay.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it keeps it and it keeps both teams looking strong too. Like because it doesn't look like you're like the Hellraisers are a team who gets like kind of just gets run over, I guess is the best way
yeah.
to do it.
Also, man, I don't have a problem with that. You get that like, I don't get all caught up in that shit. People get pissed off about it,
About like a
count
dusty
outs and
finish.
DQs and stuff. Yeah, but like, I mean, sometimes it's a necessity. Sometimes it's a narrative device to keep a feud going. But like the rules exist, you can use
Yeah.
those in that structure. Everything that comes before it is fucking sick, and it makes sense. I mean, it's like out of control. They're not trying to win the match anymore. They're just trying to
No, they're
fucking
just trying to fuck each
kill
other
each
up.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it is everything in the match is crazy. Um and who cares if this one's a double like this is the only from what I'm looking at, this is the only like dusty finish on the show, or at least that is like a recorded dusty finish. That's not to say there wasn't. I mean, you got a anti-players association versus raging staff match that might be
Oh, baby.
and that match
Fire
might
that up
have
after
some
the pod.
crazy stuff on it, but um that's not to say there isn't probably some dusty stuff. Ron Simmons versus Tony Holm is rated really low. But they like if this is the only bad or not a non-finish, I guess is the way I should say it. This is the only non-finish on the show, and I mean the main is Tenryu versus Riki Choshu. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's all right. You know what I mean? Like that's okay. This this works. I think it does everything it needs to do. Um, the obviously some of the Rick Steiner's a piece of shit. I think we all know that. Um,
Yeah, I was talking to Avi. Rick Steiner's probably, I'm not gonna say my favorite piece of shit. He's not a good person, but he's fun to watch work.
he is a
Many
very
such
fun wrestler.
cases, unfortunately.
hmm
But
hmm
yeah, awesome wrestler, underrated wrestler.
Like you said, Hawk probably not the cleanest record in the world.
Yeah,
Um, I
it is
think
what it is, man. I mean,
yeah, for
Yeah,
real. It's a crazy ass match. It's got a lot of big suplexes, a lot of big bombs, some crazy shoulder blocks. Like I say that knowing damn good and well that like a shoulder block doesn't need to be as cool as it is in this
yeah,
match.
but when you level somebody with one,
it's very
it's
cool.
awesome.
Exactly. Um, moving on to Aubie's match of the week. I was kind of joking with Aubie before the pod that we like switched brains this week, and I brought the like random tag New Japan match, and you brought Low Key versus Necro Butcher from IWA Mid South, date 4/1/2006. This is like a match that should realistically be right up my alley. Um, in totality, it should be everything I have said to have loved about pro wrestling is in what this match should be. I have to be honest, I don't think I love this match.
You're
Um,
crazy as fuck.
Yeah, that's crazy talk, dude.
it's not.
What I think is funny, and we can get into it, is that your criticism of it that I read in the thing you wrote is like basically the exact opposite of everybody else's criticism of it.
What is
Which is
what is
say
everybody
like,
else's
okay,
criticism
so
of it?
well, first of all, uh, again, we've talked about how cage match people are stupid, but
Yeah, yeah.
this is less than half a point away from the Joe match. This is a very highly rated match.
Hmm.
But and I like to get the temperature of these things. I'm not reading cage match reviews a lot, but when we're doing pod matches and stuff, I do like to kind of
Yeah, if
look
you can
around
get
and
a little
get the
temperature.
general temperature. And here, and there was like a low key interview on Reddit where he talked about this match in particular. So
That's
in the same
crazy.
there as well,
Low key
the
interview on
the
Reddit sounds
criticism
insane.
is that low key eats him up, and that Necro doesn't get enough offense in.
Oh,
And
That's
that it's
and
ridiculous.
just
see
a low key squash.
that's the crazy part because I want it to be a low key squash. I want
But
it.
dude,
I
are you?
want. I want Necro to die.
Well, he does.
He
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 does.
does
does.
die, dude.
He
But
does. But
Necro is hard to kill, man. 2006 Necro has been established as a guy that is almost impossible to kill.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that in my brain I hold this to the same standard as the Joe match, and I think in the Joe match, Necro gets killed way more, and like,
I might
man,
like this
Well,
more than the Joe
uh,
match.
he
I'll
doesn't even
talk.
get
I don't
color in
care.
this match, bro. Like, come on, like, give us a little gig or
he
something.
gets color on his fucking neck, and collarbone is raw red
Because he
from
gets
all the kicks
chopped
and
like a
chops that he
motherfucker.
catches.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
real.
just chops though; it's kicks, man. He almost knocks him out multiple times.
And that's
Oh,
listen. It's
100%.
not to say either that I think this match is bad. Like I don't think it's a bad match. I just so I've
Well, let
watched.
me. You're an Eddie Kingston fan, right?
I am.
So if you watched a key Eddie Kingston match, would you want Eddie to not get anything in because he's half a foot shorter and in much worse shape than Necro Butcher is?
Yes, I would. So like the
Because
thing is,
Key is a martial arts guy, which is why he gets all the offense, but he's not like some unbeatable behemoth in 2006.
I think
I mean, he's
I'm.
3 years off his
I
world
do think
title.
if he wrestles like if Key wrestled Eddie Kingston hypothetically, I would want it to play out somewhat similar, but I would want it to be like like as soon as he gets the hope, like Key just kills him again. Which
I think this
I
is
feel
the
like I never
perfect fucking
get.
structure.
I feel like I never
Yeah,
get that in this match.
this is a almost an old school match in that regard. This is like and yes, the Joe match is better. I don't think it's like hugely better, but also, coming off 2 weeks like we just had, the idea was I'm going to bring something that's
Fun.
not like a
Yeah, not them.
canonical thing. But this is a highly regarded match. But like he does eat him up, but Necro gets in a lot of hope spots. It's a great babyface performance because the crowd really wants him to win,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and he never dies. I was joking with some people because I watched all three of their matches, and you can go watch every single one of them. He will eat shit, but at the point he always does a little too much with like a kick, and
Yeah,
the Necro response is
is
always
always
immediately a shoot punch to the head.
yeah, like a just
Hmm.
straight punch to the jaw.
Yeah, but
Which
I mean I don't. Necro is '06 Necro. Okay, he's had the Super Dragon match, Cage of Death. He had the Eddie Kingston match in 2005. This is only Key's second match in IWA Mid South. He should not come in and squash like the face of the promotion.
I
Yeah.
get,
But he
yeah,
still
that's
does
real.
take most of the offense.
Are you trying to say that the face of the promotion is not like is not Ian?
Don't I think Necro is the guy in 2006, man.
I will
We're
say
not getting Ian Joe. We're not getting
Key
yeah.
Ian.
That's a good point,
Yeah.
Ian Joe. That.
yeah.
I will say here, I do think it is like there is a lot of cool stuff for Necro in this match. Like I'm not a total like I said, I'm not a total hater of this match. I don't love it. I think as some much as some people do. Like if I went into say the Moonsault Discord right now and went into match discussion, I said give me. I think I've done this before, and that's probably why I watched this match the first time, which is like give me low key match suggestions, and like I would probably get this match, the Chris Hero match, which I will be a match we talk about at some point. Um, you
Ain't no way a damn Chris Hero match is better than a Necro match, brother.
I don't.
A,
It's still
a 20-minute slugfest
yeah, but
between
Yeah,
Chris
I don't.
Necro and
This.
Key.
Chris Hero
I'm
gets his
gonna be. This
nose
is like a.
broken, bro.
Yeah, but that's in front of PWG.
I mean that I do love that match.
It
I
is,
do love
you're
that
the one
match.
that's recommended me that
Yeah,
match.
yeah, it is. But this is better. This is
um,
better.
that that is like, but those are the matches. He
You
has
get the
a
Kenta match.
he has the match against Special K in like I think it's like '03 ROH
Yeah.
where he like comes in and like kills the rookie like dead ass like just murders him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, that there's another match that will come on the pod whether I bring it first or Dom, which is him, Paul London, and AJ in
Oh
ROH.
yeah, you're right. Yep,
Yeah,
that's actually yep.
that match is a heater. But like I don't know. To me, every single one of those matches that I just mentioned, I would pick over this Necro
Well, okay,
match.
so go watch the Chris Hero key match again
Uh huh.
and listen to the crowd just go for 30 minutes as opposed to this match where they're like actively cheering for Necro Butcher and they're like
Yo,
living and dying with it. Like
I
this is an actual
if we're talking
it's
about,
stiff as fuck, but it's like a match with a story.
I will
Whereas the
say
Chris Hero low key match or any of those other are just like low key being on his bullshit. Which
I
he
think
yeah
is
I
in
would
this match
prefer.
too, but like this has the big baby face Necro comebacks and like the
Yeah,
crazy great selling
he
and the haymakers and all that stuff.
the
And the
yeah.
crowd wants him to win in 2006. It is not a like I don't know. I think that speaks a lot for the quality of the work in the match.
I mean you have somebody in like the front row with a Choose Death T-shirt. I think like the one if we're talking about the crowd here at IWA Mid South, the black dude in the full suit
I
in the
noticed that
front
too. He
row,
was swag as fuck.
dude, that one was like I was like kind of crazy. Like that's a crazy ass a fit to be at an IWA Mid South show. Um, and then you have uh like I said, the guys with the Choose Death T-shirt. I think there's another couple Necro, and I guess you're right. The crowd is very behind Necro here. Um, and the last sentence in which I sent the little snippet of my notes as I was writing them to the group chat is, uh, as the match starts, I wrote Necro looks like shit as always, which is just I don't want him to look like anything else really. Um, I
Yeah, I think
do.
that's part of the
But yeah,
mistake.
he's like a drunken brawler. He looks I mean he's like a Dick Murdoch type.
Mhm. Yeah, modern
He's
Dick
just a
Murdoch.
tough yeah, he's just a tough
He's a
motherfucker.
tough backwoods guy. It feels
Yeah.
like, even though he's
Yeah,
probably not from the
this dude
Yeah,
backwoods.
but he's
exists.
again like he's a big guy. He's not
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's deceptively big.
it's
This
like
dude
it's who
exists
And
in
I
every
I
dive
don't
bar
want to
ever.
take any of those punches, especially like that punch clothesline he throws,
Yeah,
Hmm.
where he
bro,
like punches through his face.
clobbers the fuck out of him.
Yeah,
I do love the low key coming through the back of the crowd. I don't know
oh,
why
that was
that's
great. He snuck up on him. Yeah, it was
yeah,
really great.
it's so funny and like I love the way he jogs in too. Like
Key with hair, by the way. If we haven't
oh
mentioned that,
yeah yeah
he has hair in this.
he is not clean shaven bald, which honestly doesn't like trip me up that much. But it is kind of like a weird sight. But then again, like I would rather this key with like
He looks like Rey Mysterio,
I'd rather this
unmasked Rey
key with
Mysterio.
hair than like barcode hitman key. Or alternatively just Kuval.
Yeah.
Um
What was what was the other super stupid name that he had?
uh
Sinchi.
Senshi, yeah.
Yeah. Quick kick.
Yeah, all sucked.
Yeah.
Senshi and Kuval. That's another I mean, we could talk about Loki for another 20 minutes, but I'll still never understand how he of all people got signed to WWE when he did. Um
Well, I mean, if he can stay out of his own way,
yeah.
which he can't. I mean, that's part of the appeal too, though. He's a guy who would have thrived like 15, 20 years earlier
Hmm.
when you were
Mhm.
more allowed to be this kind of guy.
Be a piece of shit.
But he is unbelievably athletic,
Hmm.
a great wrestler. But
All his kicks and chops and everything is all very on point.
Oh God,
Um,
like he destroys Necro's chest and neck and mouth. Like he busts his lip with, and those
Yeah.
like the little kicks to the head
oh,
might have been
dude.
the shittiest things to take.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
They call him Kawada kick. Like,
Well, he does the Kawada kicks, but there's one point where Necro's just on the mat and he's
oh yeah,
just
and
And he
he
like,
just
just
like
kind of
little
like
kicks him.
hits the
yeah,
little soccer kicks and like kicks him
yeah,
around.
and he's killing him.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, Necro. As soon as like Key kind of hits him a little too stiff, Necro just kind of reaches up and just clocks him.
It's so funny. You can see the receipts every time.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's awesome to see the through line
Yeah.
of receipt, action.
Yeah.
And
I,
like,
I, I will say you may not care to watch it if you didn't like this match that much, but their Jersey All Pro match from a year later is really funny because that crowd is like children and old women, and it's just
and
like
it's just like the same
they're
match.
just stunned. Like
Oh, and it's just yeah,
yeah,
like uptight New Jersey Italian
yeah,
old woman,
it's
like
just
what
like
the fuck? What is going
almost
on here?
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
actually
I gotta see that.
They
hilarious.
Yeah,
do not know how to react.
they're used
That's
to fucking Bruno Sammartino with the fake punches.
yeah, they're
Which
used to
no diss.
Greg Valentine or whatever.
Hmm.
Uh,
I don't know. I think this like 2 year period for Necro is so fucking good, man. Oh my god, he's got so many great matches,
Dude, I was very pleasantly surprised when he was doing the little
including
selling we were talking about.
yeah.
The
yeah, when
stand and punch cell.
he's on,
Oh,
His
yeah,
he
movie.
was sells great in this.
Yes.
I,
And there is a I sent a clip from the Kingston match they had like 4 months before this. But he has a match with Kingston for the CZW title like a year later
Hmm.
mhm.
that is very similar to this that I would also highly recommend that for.
I'm probably gonna watch that
It's
right after
sick.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that might
sick.
be a thing I watch before I go to bed tonight type deal.
Yeah.
Um, dude, all like you said, all of the strikes are great. I At one point I wrote Key all timer guy for stiffing you. Period. That's
Hmm.
the
Dude,
whole sentence.
he's on his bullshit and like of course, you can't go out there and have Loki versus Necro Butcher and it not be
Be
that.
stiff, yeah.
Yeah. But he almost goes beyond,
Well,
of course, because that's what Loki does. But like some of
mhm.
those
Yeah.
kicks, like to the chin, are I don't want to say reckless because they're very intentional, but like they're dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, there's a couple points where I think like he probably could almost knock his ass out.
Yeah.
Like when
I
they're
think
on,
he does almost knock him out
dude.
at a
I
couple of points.
I think it's like when they're the first time when they're on the outside and he like I think he kicks him and like Necro kind of just like falls down and there's a moment in my brain where I'm like, is he selling or did Key just like ring his bell? You know what I mean? Is this reactionary or is this convulsing basically?
Uh-huh. I mean,
D-
fucking crazy match. I'm gonna just sound like a broken record.
yeah, they get like when when uh when Necro tries to like or well I guess Key tries to like vertical suplex Necro into the ring and then like Necro reverses it, picks him up and then Key like knees him and then hits the quote John Woo dropkick that like sends Necro like
I know Don
back.
popped for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
always
back.
pop for that, and every time I especially pop for Loki drop, like Loki drop kicks, because he always screams like a fucking
Dude,
always screaming.
every
Yeah.
time he fucking hits a move, like a big move, he screams like a crazy person. But yeah, he does that a lot. He does it. I think he does it when he does like the Mongolian chops too.
And he goes, yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, throws the chops down. Um,
I love
when
Mongolian chops, dude.
when
That's a
he
cool move.
like I said, when he goes and hits that those Kawada, like they call them Kawada kicks, but they're not quite Kawada. Like, you know, when you think of like Kawada doing them, like he holds you, but like he's got like a pretty far distance to kick. But
Mhm.
these kicks are all like really short. and like really violent.
Yeah, with the point of his boot.
Yeah. So I'm like, I understand why you call it that commentary team. Who is on commentary for this? Do you know? Uh,
I pay less than zero attention to.
Yeah,
oh,
I was not
it
giving
is
a fuck.
Ben Jordan and Jim Fannin.
Interesting.
Uh, this is this. Where's this? Where the hell is Midlothian, Illinois? Where the hell is that? Probably like,
Midlothian.
is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it looks
Bullshit.
like. Oh yeah, it's a suburb of Chicago, so we're just outside of Chicago here. This, but like, yeah, he is this. This isn't even the main event. Oh my god.
Yeah,
You
the
guys
main
want
event is hilarious.
Dom? Are you ready for what the main event of this show
I was
is?
gonna hang up and like immediately go watch the show.
What is it?
It is Chris Hero versus Milano Collection AT.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but like, what year is this?
07
6.
or 06, sorry.
Yeah, but is it like shitty Chris Hero?
What do you qualify as shitty Chris Hero?
And when he's doing like cravats and stupid shit, I don't fucking care.
Oh, that's always Chris Hero.
No, but there was a point where when he's not Mr. Forearm,
Dude, I think back to some of those PWG and Evolve matches that I swear to God had 40 kickouts.
Oh,
yeah, that
yep.
shit is
Like that, yeah. But when that, I think part of the reason that the key match is so good is because he responds to that level of violence from Key, and he just doesn't.
Yeah, he
He
throws
doesn't
it
get
back.
into bad brain.
Yeah, he realizes like, oh, okay, this is a shooter. Let's shoot basically. Like he just keeps feeding it back. Um, not to keep distracting from the damn show here, but they get a so Loki goes out, gets a table that Necro had pulled out from under the ring earlier. Let's get that completely clear here. So Necro had gotten the table out, didn't get to do anything with it because Loki came over and stopped him. And then he sets it up. He afterwards goes out, gets the table, sets it up in the corner. Necro stops himself from getting thrown in the table, and then he kicks Loki and goes to powerbomb him into the table. But then, like, he like somehow gets out of it and gets like he like basically rolls like his weight to where he gets Necro to fall backwards and then hits the double stomp, which
Oh
he
yeah, I
also
felt like
yells
he just kind
crazy
of.
for.
I feel like he just couldn't get him up for the fucking power bomb. His silly ass.
um and then they kind of like, do some more stuff and almost kind of tease the table, and then eventually this is when is this when he yeah, this is when he goes outside and he throws the chairs at Key. So like this is one of the spots I absolutely loved from this match, which is them going around the world of the ring and with Necro just launching the chair at Loki,
Uh-huh.
and the bloodthirsty IWA Mid South crowd is like, "Wow, don't put your hands up, pussy! This ain't WWE." I'm
It's
like,
awesome.
damn, dude, that's crazy. He's getting a chair thrown in his head. Of course he's gonna put his fucking hands up. Like,
Laser-like precision
let me
from
throw a
Necro.
chair at your head and see if you just keep your hands down and take it like a man. No, you're gonna put your
Well,
hands up.
you'll notice as they're saying that they're like scurrying away too.
Yeah, that is an all timer part of this match that it's like it's the one of the biggest bright spots for me in a match that is not, like I've said, not as crazy for me, but it that specifically is all timer.
I gotta say too, I was talking to friend of the show and friend of me, Lawson, about this match. He said that and I haven't seen this one in a while. Well, until like 3 days ago, I hadn't seen it when we were talking about it. But he, in their December rematch,
Hmm.
he said there's a guy in the crowd who's like, they're out in the crowd, and he's like, "Yeah, kick his ass, Necro." And Loki like turns around and starts walking towards him and stares him down, and the guy's like, "Let's go, Loki."
That's real.
That
Yeah.
sounds like the exact kind of thing I would expect, honestly.
Yeah.
Uh, they they get back in the ring, and Necro goes like hits like the side slam, and then he goes to set the ring or set the table up like just regular in the ring, and commentary, who's been mentioning this uh nice new mat for the ring, says, "No, don't set it up in the ring, Necro. You're gonna rip the canvas." Which I thought was very funny and
Yeah.
really speaks to the nature of the kind of promotion we're in here, that they're worried
Yeah, I don't
about.
think this is like a high margin business here. I
Yeah.
think they don't want to replace the Kansas canvas.
No, they just got it. It does make me think of like I think it's Ian versus Chris Hero match where he like basically says something to the effect of, "No, we're not some backyard fed," which I always thought was funny because like IWA Mid South is a lot closer to a backyard fed than it is like a,
Anything else?
a like top promotion, but
Yeah, but I mean, like, they had Milano Collection AT, and
yeah,
El
exactly.
Generico's on this show. They've got
So is
Hero and Loki on this show.
Kevin Steen wrestles Ian Rotten on this show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ruckus
I mean, young Kevin Steen. I don't know.
Ruckus wrestles Josh Abercrombie. I
Like
cannot.
the brand.
That's what his name is, so I'd assume so.
Weird.
Now known as Josh Raymond, by the way, in case you were wondering. Um, yeah, this is. I mean, it's. I don't know. To me, it's a lot closer. This match, this show has a Trick Davis match on here, which I've watched wrestled last weekend.
It is funny for them to get high and mighty about not being a backyard fed, but IWA Mid South is an important indie fed from this period for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. I do think so. Like, so Necro sets up for the Tiger Bomb, and Loki stops him by putting his foot on the table, which I don't fully understand how that actually stops the maneuver. Because if Necro were to just pick him up anyway for the maneuver, yes, it would flip the table, but he could still hit the power bomb. You know what I mean? Like he can still like flip him up and over and just power bomb him onto like the backside of the table, which arguably would suck more.
Yeah, I
So
think
like,
so.
why not just pull him anyway? And then he gets up onto his shoulders. Key gets the octopus. They go over the ropes. He puts him on the top rope. And like hits a double stomp to Necro's back, and then
A crazy one. Huge double stomp.
yeah, he goes he goes up. When does he go up to the top rope? Oh, it like Necro puts Loki up on the top rope, and then Necro goes up to like do something. I think he's like hooking the arms. I think he's gonna try and do like the Tiger Bomb like
Yeah.
backwards.
Because he does hit a crazy sick tiger bomb in
Yeah,
between
He
all the,
does. It's
the
very
he
stuff. Like,
beautiful.
does. Um, and like he like has him hooked, but then like Loki reverses it, and then like he hits some chops and like to his neck, which once again his neck does get like brutalized, like it is bruised out the like hell basically,
It's
and
shop hamburger. Yep.
and he Tree of Woes him, but like leans him back onto the table and hits the Warriors way or the double stomp like onto
Fucking
Necro laid
crazy.
out onto the
Uh,
table.
and I thought he was dead.
Mhm.
I understand it. That is crazy. Um, that is yeah. That match.
They have one in a later match where they do it on the bleachers. Like he lays Necro on like the first like row of some wooden bleachers, and then climbs up and does a double stomp from like higher up on the bleachers. It's one of the damnedest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
This one is right there though. This shit is crazy.
so when Dom sent what was quote unquote his monkey point um of the homicide low key and Necro and Toby Klein match, when I was trying to look for it, I found that spot that you're talking about where he does the Warriors wave like from the bleachers. Just like looking on YouTube, and that is pretty crazy. I guess kind of transition here. The I will final thoughts. I do like the match after watching it and reviewing it. It's just not as high up there, like I said, in the grand scheme of low key matches.
That's fair,
Um,
but wrong. But fair,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
also wrong.
Wrong as fuck.
this match, Homicide low key versus Necro Butcher and Toby Klein. I know it exists on video. It's probably just a case of nobody's uploaded it to one of the main like watching
I
sites.
could probably find the full show on CZ like on
Well, check.
VK and go from there.
Yeah, it's
I just
from
put it in the
IWA.
chat.
Did you seriously?
Yeah,
That's funny as
yeah.
hell.
You can find most IWA Mid South.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yep, that's
yeah,
tough.
exactly. So there's that one. Although Dom came through this week. He sent more monkey points.
Basically, my monkey point was Foos has been DMing me, Club Lucha. He said Marcella, Luchadora, very popular. She's been in a lot of BJW stuff, BJW events, and looking at Cage match, he's right. But like he also said, I he's not seen any footage, so I'll have to look and search, see if there's any footage there because some of those matches sound very very cool. Just for the also the novelty of Marcella in a BJW ring.
Yeah, and like one of these I can see is like for sure like broadcasted because I can see the little green.
Yeah, I made sure to filter by broadcast, but even then, when you filter by broadcast, sometimes you can find things that fucking good luck finding it, bro.
Yeah, so like one is Devil Masami and Marcella versus Acute Sade and Azumi Hayuga. Is that how you say that?
Something
Um,
like that, yeah.
You got it, brother.
yeah, that's a JWP show, but I mean it says TV show. It where if was it uploaded anywhere? Who the hell knows? Um, Kyoko Ichiki and La Amapola versus Chihiro
Amapala.
Nakano and yeah and
I go full
Marcella.
whitey and I just say Amapala, whatever. That's probably not
Uh,
how.
I think that's
you
fine.
also sent Misai Ginki versus Marcella.
Very cool.
And that's another BJW match. Like you said, man, there's a chance we don't ever find these, and that's okay. Um, because that's kind of just the nature of how Joshi wrestling got uploaded. I'm sure some of the big Joshi heads in and around our circles might know more, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of some of that stuff just gets lost to time, and
Mhm.
that's unfortunate because it is all so good. Like
It's
I
Yeah, that's
probably
it.
potentially very
There's
good.
so much Joshi from that period
hmm
that has to be unbelievable.
yeah, there's no way it's
That
not.
yeah, that we won't see. Also, 99 Big Japan. Some of it's out there and some of it's not. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd probably be the guy who would just know randomly, um, if if there was. But like you said, I mean it's Big Japan, so it's not like this is like the most heralded promotion ever. Even though I do like some stuff from it.
They had
But
I'd say that you could. They had a period where they were doing pretty damn good business. I mean, they basically were the death match promotion for a while. After
Mm-hmm.
Wing and FMW, but it's still not as abundant as some other stuff from that era.
yeah, for sure. Um, moving on to the cage match game. I am finally out of the doghouse. It is Dom's pick this week. Dom
Mm-hmm.
leading the series. I was thinking about this earlier. I was looking at it. I think whenever the first person, like, we should probably call it when somebody either gets to like 10 or like 15. Um,
And start
um,
over. Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
probably fair.
yeah. I know I'm putting myself at a deficit here, right? Like I'd have to really shoot for the
Get
sun
your
here
shit
to
on.
try and make it back up to at least challenge for that. But I think
Yeah, but conversely, it'll be starting over, so it'll be
exactly right. So then you get a fresh start.
yeah.
But Dom is in the lead with 7. I'll be with 5. I have 1 point. Thank God, I have something. Um, Dom, what is your wrestler's overall cage match rating?
7.99.
Okay, so relatively high rated wrestler.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, trying to think. Is it
7 point. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it Scott Norton?
No.
Damn, that'd be a good Albie pick.
Is it? Is it? I had a name in mind and then it just flew out of my head.
Sorry, my fault, pimp.
No problem. Is it Bestia Salvaje?
It is not Bestia Salvaje. It is not.
Yeah, that is a Dom certified pick.
I was trying to think of lucha guys that would be in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Dom,
Uh,
Dom, give us your first review.
this is a review for 7, and it says excellent wrestler, but just a really bland personality. He did everything right, but he just didn't have that it factor. I would not agree with this, but I just picked it because it was short.
Lance Storm.
Not Lance Storm.
Is it Dean Malenko?
It is not Dean Malenko.
We had to get both of those out of the way. Those are like the two guys that I think are generationally known as good wrestlers. I mean, some people have different opinions on Dean Malenko, but I think, broadly speaking, a lot of people think of Dean Malenko and Lance Storm as good wrestlers, no fucking personality at all.
And yeah, like in the Brad Armstrong mold of like allegedly very funny backstage, but like
Dean Malenko
can't do
seems
it.
like a very funny guy.
Yeah, he had a reputation for being like very funny. Lance Storm too.
Lance, see, and that's the other thing too. People always say that about like Lance Storm being bland, but like Lance Storm in ECW does not seem like a bland guy.
Oh, they stuck him in a goaded faction to help with that.
The Impact players.
No, dude, the triple threat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think
I'm the triple threat
the
super
triple
fan.
threat, yeah, aficionado.
Yeah.
Dom, go ahead and give us your second review.
So this is for a 9.
Okay.
Back in like 2003, Blank was a legitimate contender for best wrestler in the world title. He was so good, but that sadly never really showed during his WWE run. Even though his tag run there with Blank, I'm not going to say it because it would give it away, but his tag run there with Blank was awesome. He has had many classic matches versus legends of that 2003 era and has been part of many fun promos. He has had a couple of very successful tag teams, and he's all around one of the most underappreciated wrestlers of all time, in this guy's opinion.
Is it Chavo Guerrero, the younger one?
No, no, it is not Chavo Guerrero.
All right, can you read the like first sentence of that again? I'm sorry, I was thinking about the triple threat.
Back in like 2003, Blank was a legitimate contender for the best wrestler in the world title.
Okay. Paul London.
Yep, you're right.
God damn it. That's
He
yeah.
is not bland. That's stupid. That's a
Yeah,
bit.
he's not bland at all. Straight up, not
Yeah.
bland.
So that gives Aubie 2 points, which
Mhm.
means Aubie and Dom are now tied.
Fuck you! Fuck!
All Dom and Aubie tied at 7, and then I have 1 point.
Gotta pick a tough one next week. Can't be anybody from Jersey, and it can't
Yeah,
be.
no Jersey.
Paul
Can't
No
be
Paul
one who does
London.
suplex or a
Sheik.
luchador.
Yeah, when is people ever considered Paul London a bland wrestler?
I don't know, someone who's only watched WWE, I guess.
Even
Really,
even his
I mean, I don't.
character in WWE wasn't
It's someone
bland.
who's fucking stupid, I guess. Then, if
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
be.
That's also. I have to
Like,
say, I'm sure everybody listening to this has, but if you haven't seen like the current Paul London,
oh,
like
fat
Elvis
Paul
gimmick,
London.
it is so good. I have told everybody this, but like we went to SCI this year, and my wife's by far her favorite matches were the Paul London matches.
Uh, I mean, I understand it. Like that is
Because he's very charismatic and funny.
Uh-huh. He's
And
very
can
also
charismatic.
still
probably,
work.
and he's beautifully handsome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't hurt. Even with the gut.
The god, I mean, the
when
Silver Fox, the aesthetic
Yeah,
there.
yeah. He's still
Ooh.
looking good.
when is that match when he's supposed to go wrestle in Arena Mexico? When is that? Do you know?
Oh, I forgot all about that. That's gonna be amazing. Oh
Yeah.
Oh
my
my
god.
god, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
gonna be so funny in Arena Mexico, man.
he's dude, do you think he's gonna like do the whole gimmick on the way out too?
Absolutely. Come
There's
out and sing. He has to.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope
That
there's a lot of people who haven't seen him in forever, and
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen
I
this
haven't
Elvis
yeah.
gimmick
I was gonna
in
say I haven't
action.
seen this gimmick either.
Oh
You've been
man.
you've been talking about it. I've just never looked for it. You know what I mean? Like I've
Yeah.
never. Anytime I see Paul London clips, it's like him on Rene Dupree's podcast
Yeah. He's just
in like
it's a
a
very
shittily lit room.
obnoxious heel. He does a lot of stooging. He does a lot of cheating. But he
Oh
also, I
yeah.
mean, he's still Paul London. He's not doing like shooting star
Shooting
presses
star,
on
yeah.
ladders or anything. But like he's still.
Paul London has
Paul London is not, is a great wrestler.
Because he's
I
this
still
would
is
doing
love to
fucked
have
up
seen what it looked like if he had stayed in
in
Ring
the
of Honor
Indies.
for a while.
Yeah, 100%. When you said, I think he would be held in the same respect as guys like Joe, AJ, Danielson,
Danielson.
I mean,
Loki.
if
100%.
I recall correctly from that period, because I was buying DVDs then, he wasn't far from that. I mean, he was a
He was, yeah,
genuinely
putting on great matches.
I mean,
yes,
and the thing is like it's not like he's in WWE for a long period of time. Like he's in and out relatively quickly in like the grand scheme of a wrestling career. I think he's only there for like what 2 years
I
ish.
guess, but by the
no,
point,
he's there for like six
he's
or
was
7
longer
years.
than 2 years for
Is
Yeah,
sure,
he's
he?
dude.
he's there from like '03 to like '08.
Because he like is around at the start of Ring of Honor when they still had the fucking the chain link fence
Yeah, he was
barriers.
there in '02 and '03, but he did have some of like the early like he Paul London matches were moving Ring of Honor DVDs.
Oh,
On
100%.
on the side. I would say honestly, and again, I may be wrong. This may just be me remembering incorrectly, but like to me, in early Ring of Honor, he was more of a selling point than like uh Dragon.
Yeah.
100%. Way more
Well,
fun of a
I mean, I
style.
think that's fair. Like, in that like 02, 03, like I said, that match
Yeah,
with him and Key and AJ, I
AJ.
think is
Yeah,
like,
he's got the Michael Shane street fight. That's super fucking sick.
yeah. And even like, I mean, I'm a big fan of his stuff, like in like PWG post
Yeah, yeah.
WWE run, even though I know, some people may not like it because it's very like indie bullshit. But like the spot of him doing the drop kick moonsault,
Yeah, drop salt.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so cool. That's a match I'll probably bring is him and Generico versus Kings of Wrestling at some point. Maybe that might be a next week kind of deal. Now that I'm like thinking about it. Depends on I guess if we do a match or not, or do a theme or not. But yeah, he's really cool. He's a perfectly good, very fun wrestler. And also, I mentioned him literally last week because I was talking about Matt Seidel, and they are almost cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, I think they have a lot in common. I was gonna say that, but like, they're two guys who are like incredible, spectacular high flyers, but also know how to like have a good
Wrestle?
match. Yeah.
Yeah, they know how to like work and do
Seidel's hurt right now, right? Or is he in Ring
uh
of Honor jail?
I mean it's probably Ring of Honor jail. I genuinely have no idea if what he is. Maybe he's just like chilling, collecting a paycheck type deal.
I hope so. Saving up to go back, do some more ayahuasca.
Oh, I want. Yep, that sounds awesome. Walk a Flock of Flame did that.
Fuck it.
I just got
That'd be
fucking.
good.
I think I got. What do you call this shit? I'm so stupid. Deodorant in my eye. Fuck.
Oh my god.
I should is Matt now I'm looking at like his Instagram to see if he's hurt or something.
I think he got hurt, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, he's doing appearances and stuff, but like his Instagram doesn't really help. Oh, is he even doing appearances? I don't know. He barely posts on Instagram either. He did an
That's
interview
also
really recently.
good.
I don't know. Yeah, Matt Sydal, cool. Paul London. I can't wait for that Arena Mexico match.
Yeah,
Like
it's gonna be great.
there's no way that's not fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, dude, you think he's gonna be a base guy or what? Who's he wrestling? Do you guys
Oh,
remember?
I don't even remember, man.
Nope.
Now I'm gonna look it up here. Paul London. Da, 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 da.
Neon.
Oh, dude, he's wrestling Naon?
That's gonna be sick as hell.
Oh
It's
my god.
neon.
That
I
Yeah.
might
say
be
neon.
that match might be a match of the year for me, dude. No lie. I love
Yeah.
Naon and there's like Fat Paul London. Yeah, that might be a match of the year and I don't even need to watch it.
It will at least be fun. It will at least be a lot of fun.
Last little bit of seg here. Dude of the week. We decided to give it to Eternal Apure or Apure. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I've heard
I always
everybody
say it
pronounce
as like E pure.
Yeah.
E Pure.
That's how I read it in my head.
I always just say Eternal. That's the way
Yeah.
just always pronounce the part I know how to pronounce. That's the easiest way
There you
to
go.
it.
Smart.
Yeah. Uh, great great feedback every week on the pod.
Always listens, always watches the matches, always engages. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
love it.
I really
Very
appreciate
fun.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and has like real deep ball knowledge of a lot of wrestling too, which is
Yeah.
always
Good Joshi
yeah.
go to.
You need anything from Gaia, Eternal's the person to go to.
Yeah.
I
And just
pronounced
cool
it
and fun
right,
to
Gaia.
talk to.
The Gaia
100%.
Gaia. I don't fucking
Gaia.
remember.
I think it's Gaia.
I don't know. We went through this whenever I brought that
It's
Mako
Gaia.
match.
It's Gaia like the Greek goddess.
Yeah, the goddess of earth and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a goddess. I didn't know that's where the name was from.
Yeah, she's like
Need to-
Mother Nature, Gaia.
She's Earth, yeah. Mother
Yeah,
Earth.
Earth. She's like the pro. I mean, I mean a lot of this
She's
from God of
married to
War.
Uranus.
Yep.
Got him.
Greek fuck primordials and shit.
Listen, we may have a combined age of close to 100 on this podcast, but we all have
Hey,
a
whoa,
brain
whoa.
we all have a brain age of about 5 years old.
I
No,
tell
I
me
mean,
all the time I'm Eternally 17.
How are you gonna whoa me? That's that's factual.
Let me
Dom's
do the math.
18.
Yeah,
Dom's 18. I'm 24.
that's
So
42.
that's 42. You're 40. That's
No,
so we're
I'm
at 80.
27.
Fuck you guys.
I'm about like
I
a
swear
I'm
to
like
God,
a
I was yesterday. But I
Yeah,
I'm
when
like
you
a
also
were
did go
zygote.
chilling.
see Paul Simon last night, so maybe I am 40.
I was gonna say
Fuck.
how many 27-year-olds are rocking out at a Paul Simon concert?
May have been the youngest person in the building.
You
Yeah,
you and your wife, yeah.
yeah.
That's hey, honestly that makes sense.
It's like I
I,
felt a lot like going to a wrestling show. Like
you're
whenever
the
we go to a wrestling show, we're the most attractive people in there. So
nice.
it was very similar.
I love when I love when I walk in a bar and I'm by far the youngest person in there, even though I'm like
That
24.
could be a good sign or a bad sign.
Usually it's a good sign because like
Yeah,
that is like
it's
the most
chill.
non-judgmental bar ever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, as always, go check out all of the socials. I mean, Dom only tweets randomly. Uh,
Yeah.
I
He's
I
he's
tweet.
the smartest of all of us.
Yeah, I tweet sometimes. I tweeted yesterday because I designed merch for old Joshi Geo. Had to plug that.
Fuck yeah.
Um,
Nice.
that was really cool. Cool of him to like reach out and like try and get me to work on something, and also very funny of how it like happened. It was literally just me fucking around in Illustrator while he was watching me stream it, and then he was like, "Oh, I like that," and so I went, "Okay, I'm gonna make you an entire T-shirt based off of it." Go read. Go
Yard subject
read.
to change.
Yard subject to change. Go
Oh
listen
yeah, we got a
to.
good week coming up, and we just had a good week last week. We're really starting to hit our stride, I think.
Go listen to their. What is the name of that podcast you guys are doing?
Uh, we
It's
recorded it. I don't know if it's ever going to come out. That's in Ethan's hands, but I assume it's just going to be called Yard Subject to Change. We just did like a
yeah,
little
like a month in
month in
review.
review thing, but I don't know. I actually need to ask him about
Yeah,
that.
ask him
We
about it. Yeah.
The problem is that we like never wrapped it up.
Mm.
We got distracted at the end.
So like
We
this
just
podcast.
yes, and we just like started watching stuff. So
We at least here on File Under Fire do not get so distracted that we start watching wrestling. However, we do talk about Paul Simon concerts.
yeah.
So
Well,
I guess
we were talking. We like built a yarder. Like we got
okay,
so we drafted essentially like different assets, and skills from different backyard
different
wrestlers to
yarders. Yeah,
combine
yeah.
them to create like the perfect yarder, and then we had to name them, which of
Oh
course
God.
led to the discussion of like if we were really gonna name them like real yarders, that's like
Yeah.
cancelable. So then
Unless
we
you're like
started sending each other like the worst
the
names we could
worst
find,
names you
and
could
that's
think
how
of,
we
but you can
discovered
say it in private.
Two Mexican Gentlemen Brawling, which is coming soon to the blog. A
That's fucking
goddamn Raw
awesome.
match.
Oh God damn it. That's a brilliant. Honestly, I really hope that comes out. Actually, I hope that you guys like wrap it up and finish it because that sounds
I
hilarious. I
lost
would
y'all
love
again.
to listen to that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cannot hear you.
No, R.I.P. Goddamn. Big ob issues at episode here.
Mm-hmm.
Dom only had his once.
Y'all there?
You're.
Who the fuck just said that?
Fucked up part is
just-
too.
Who just said that?
I hear you now.
Oh, what the fuck?
What the hell?
Oh my God.
I didn't know what the fuck that was.
I almost want to leave that part in because how funny it was. Oh my God! Did you I guess maybe you like stood up or something, or like
No, I
took the head.
unplugged my headset, so that was the computer mic. I said, "Y'all there?"
Dude, I think Dom got some like Vietnam flashbacks
No,
there.
because I didn't know if it was a soundboard or something I was watching. I was like, what the fuck was
Feds,
that?
the feds.
Oh my
It
God.
shocked me a little bit. I was like, who said that?
Oh, I'm crying. All right, we gotta wrap this podcast.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go follow us. Go watch these matches because listen, all three of them rock. Even though I shit on one of them a little bit. They all
Sometimes
three
it
are
things like
great.
that, we're not always going to agree on all these things.
Yeah,
That's part of
exactly.
the idea behind the podcast, right? We have different
Mm-hmm.
tastes,
Different.
especially when we're doing something like this, where it's like,
Just
yeah,
bring
we're not,
random.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We're not talking about something that's necessarily like a five. You know, we all agree is a 5-star match or something like that. Like this is a bit different in that regard, right? It's just kind of fun stuff, kind of loose, free with it, and yeah, I don't know, man. They all still rock. I think it's still cool, and I think if you listen to the podcast, you should go watch them and watch any and all of the other matches and listen to all of the other episodes if you haven't
yeah.
already, because
Tell us, what you think. If you agree or
yeah,
disagree, if you like
and
it or not.
somebody left a comment on the last episode that said Dom was their favorite because he sounds hot.
Thank
Um,
you. That might be my friend Van. I don't know.
if it
I hope so.
If it is, thank you. If it's not, Dom has a secret admirer, and you can continue to comment under our videos, and I would appreciate it. Even if it is his friend, you can still comment under our videos and be Dom's secret admirer. I
Thank you. I
appreciate
would
it
appreciate
all the
that.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you guys have anything else you want to plug before we get out of here?
Don't think so.
Nope.
Be excellent to each other, as the great
Yeah.
philosophers Bill and Ted said.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
be don't be some of the people we talked about on this episode unless it's Hechicero, be Hechicero. Uh, and with that, we will see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye.